Dear Dr. Sanjaya, is it safe to have sex after a heart attack? What is up, sapiosexuals? Thank you for turning on Sex in South Beach with your girl, Dr. Sanjaya, America's only Ivy League educated sexologist and professor of medicine at the University of Miami. And you know I'm shouting out to you from South Beach, the sexiest city in America. In fact, when people come to visit us, they just cannot believe that so many people are so fit and sensual in South Beach. I was at the beach the other day, and the man in the chair next to me said to his wife, I just might have a heart attack watching all these beautiful women walk by. And that's when she looked at him and said, You better not, because you already had a heart attack, and I want to have sex tonight without you dying. Now, I thought she was being a little harsh, so I gave her the side eye. And that's when she looked at me and said, What? DMX died from a heart attack and he was only 50. Boom! She told me, y'all. Yes, she did. So the sex situation we're getting into today is it safe to have sex after a heart attack? This is the number one concern facing most people who have suffered a heart attack. And that is a lot of people, because every year, about 735,000 Americans have a heart attack. And it is not just old people, y'all. Heart attacks are rising among adults between 35 and 54 years old, especially women. Yes, ladies, we have got to take better care of ourselves. And heart attacks can be scary. They sometimes scare people right out of having sex for the rest of their lives. But guess what? That whole no nookie after a heart attack is actually a myth. And let me tell you, it is a myth that is perpetuated way too often. In fact, there is absolutely no physiological evidence as to why a person who has had a heart attack cannot have sex. But before you go banging down the bedroom door, it is super important for patients who have had a heart attack to talk to their doctor about their sexual situation. Because we know how you do, boo. And right after a heart attack, well, you know what? That may not be the best time to strap yourself into that sex swing. But when patients are not counseled about sex after a heart attack, many just assume that it is off the table, and that myth about no sex after a heart attack continues. Well, I am here to tell you that heart attack survivors need loving too. So today, we're talking about putting sex back on the table, or the bed, or the kitchen counter, or wherever else you want it to be. And you know how I do. Ladies come first. According to the American Heart Association, 1 in 3 women die of heart disease every year, killing approximately 1 woman every minute. Dang! Ladies, listen up. This all starts when you're young. Because as I said earlier, rates of heart attacks among women 35 and over are rising, and we definitely got to stop that. Now, you know that so many causes of heart disease and stroke have to do with lifestyle. And if you want some luscious loving in your life, especially as you get a little older, you need to stop smoking, start exercising, and maintain a healthy weight. And you know what? Smile more often, because you look better when you do that. But can you have sex after you had a heart attack? The truth is, unless you are a fit and freaky college student, your style of sex is probably no more strenuous than regular household activities, climbing a few flights of stairs or going on a brisk 4 to 5 block walk. In fact, arguing with your partner is probably a lot more stressful on the heart than sex. But you need to be smart about it. According to the American Heart Association, the rule of thumb is do not resume sex without consulting your cardiologist. And if you are able to climb 2 flights of stairs, then you're probably good to go. But that does not mean that if you are able to climb 4 flights of stairs, you don't need to check with your doctor. It means check with your cardiologist before you get down and dirty, all right? Now, I know Many people are still not convinced that it is okay to have sex following a heart attack. And I understand that a lot of activities seem scary after something like a heart attack. I totally get that. And so does your doctor. And when you talk to your doctor, they'll probably give you a stress test to make sure you're ready for romance. So what happens during a stress test? During a stress test, you're going to work out on a treadmill or a stationary bike while your doctor measures how well your heart keeps up with your body. This will help you see firsthand what your heart can handle, and hopefully, you'll feel more confident getting your groove back. Bring your spouse or your partner so they'll also feel comfortable and can ask any questions that they have with your doctor. Typically, your doctor is going to prescribe some type of cardiotherapy treatment, which can also be used as a fitness check for sex. Hey, that would be great if we could all get a fitness check for sex, right? I think that would be a lot of fun. Before you have sex with someone, you get to test them to see if they could bend in all the positions you like, or can they lift you up and hold you against the wall while thrusting? Can they get on their tiptoes so their sexy parts can be at the same height as yours when you're getting busy on the kitchen counter? And in case you want to do it on the floor, it's important to know that your partner can get back up, right? All right, let's get back to your heart. So the key here is being open with your doctor when you ask about resuming sex after a heart attack. They know you're human, and look, they also know you're hot, right? So shoot, put on some sneakers, hop on that treadmill, and take the stress test to show your doc what you got. But for real, do not be afraid to be your own health advocate and ask your doctor those hard questions. Remember, they are getting paid to do this job. And you're probably going to have to fight with your insurance provider to get the whole thing reimbursed. So, if you're going to go through all that, make sure your doctor is working for you, okay? The best news is that most sex problems experienced by heart attack survivors, like decreased sexual response or impotence, well, they're often simply due to lack of information or fear of another heart attack. And those fears may be unfounded. But you know what? They are totally understandable. But now you got all the facts to get freaky. Oh, yeah. But before you bring out the whips and chains, it's important to understand that doctors usually recommend taking it slow. You heard? Slow it down, baby. And that is not necessarily a bad thing. You could turn this into an exciting time to start dating again and work your way through the basics of sex. Remember high school? On your mama's couch before she came home from work? Well, yes, maybe it is time to take it back to the basics, boo. Start by making out one day, and then maybe move on to a romantic massage after the next time. Might want to let your lover get a little lucky and fill you up. Now you are well on your way to resuming your sex life. But remember, now is not the time to get too fancy. And by fancy, I mean begin regular intercourse at home. And boo, I need you to try to stick with just one partner for a while, okay? Because different places or new partners can add extra stress, which is not good for sexual pleasure, and it sure is not good for your heart's health. Some experts also advise avoiding a heavy meal or alcohol before sex, because both can affect your blood flow, and you need that blood to flow down to your sexy regions in order to optimize your pleasure. Yes, it is time to prioritize, okay? And also, alcohol can sometimes cause you to be a bit anxious. And if you want more information on how alcohol impacts sex, please do yourself a favor and check out my show called Liquid Libido. The episode came out a few weeks ago, but I bet you can scroll those sexy fingers right down the podcast playlist and find it in less than 15 seconds. I know you can do it, boo. And the best news is that it takes typically just 2 to 3 months before most people who have suffered a heart attack can resume a healthy and happy sex life. Another thing to keep in mind is that dating is key to keeping the flames of love lit while you're getting it back on track in the bedroom. When you sexually stimulate your brain, your body will naturally respond. And if you come to South Beach, check out the World Erotic Art Museum on a date. This is the nation's largest collection of fine erotic art, and there is nothing like a little visual stimulation mixed into a true cultural experience to get you excited in what? More ways than one. Multifaceted excitement. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Now, I focused a lot of this episode on women because so much information on heart disease and heart attacks is directed towards men. But you know I gotta give the guys a little love before we go. Because the truth is, more than half of all heart attacks occur among men. And when it comes to sex after a heart attack, men who are taking erectile dysfunction medication have to be a little more careful. And it's really important to talk to your doctor before doing the deed or taking any medications that help with erections. Men who have had erectile dysfunction and have had a heart attack definitely need to make sure their medications are okay to mix with each other because mixing those two types of medications can be a dangerous combination. When you combine nitrate drugs, which are used to treat heart pain, with erectile dysfunction medication, the results can even be deadly. So it is especially important to avoid Viagra when taking nitrates, but there are so many other options. Erection injections can be used, and you know what? Sex scientists seem to always be developing a new drug to help men do the deed. So, if you are a man who has suffered from a heart attack and also has erectile dysfunction, do yourself a favor and talk to your doctor about your options for achieving erections. Now, the last thing I'm going to say is chill out. Relax. Your chances of a heart attack during sex are very small, unless you're a cheater. Seriously. Men who are cheating are a little more likely to have a heart attack during sex than the faithful guys. Apparently, cheating on your lady causes a lot of stress. But you know what? Even cheaters deserve to live. So, if you do have chest pain or notice your heart beating irregularly during sex or at any other time, please notify your doctor immediately and get checked out. Sex is an important part of life, and healthy romantic relationships can make you and your heart healthier. Now you know what time it is. It is time for your climax, when I give you a little something to remember about sex after a heart attack. 1. After a heart attack, talk to your doctor about resuming sex. As soon as the subject crosses your mind, do not wait. You're simply getting health information from the medical expert you're paying to help you stay healthy. 2. Heart attacks are happening to people at younger and younger ages. In fact, heart attacks among people between 35 and 54 years old have risen tremendously in recent years. 3. It may make you feel more comfortable if you take a stress test with your doctor before having sex. The stress test will measure how much action your heart can handle. And another good indicator is to ask yourself, am I able to climb 2 flights of stairs? 4. Men taking heart medication need to be especially careful before taking any medications to support erectile functions. Certain erection drugs should never be mixed with heart disease medications because the results can be fatal. That's why it is so important to talk to your doctor about sex as soon as possible. And 5, relax. Take it slow. Start with dating, making out, and sensual massages. Consider using Sense Aromatherapy body oil to really get the party started. Now you know what's next. Scroll your limber, loving fingers right down to the review section of this show and leave some supportive words to encourage others to press play, because more sexually satisfied people equals more fun-loving, smiling, happy people in your life. And excuse me, is there a better way to live? For your daily dose of Nookie knowledge, check me out on all the social media platforms. That's Dr. Sonjia, DrSonjia, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. And you know what? I'm even on TikTok. TikTok now. Come and TikTok with me, y'all. They do kick me off every other day for sexual content, but I still need your support, okay? Look up Dr. Sonjia, DrSonjia, on TikTok and show me some love, y'all. I had so much fun chatting you up about sex after a heart attack, and I cannot wait to do it again. I am Dr. Sonjia, America's sex educator. Thanks so much for tuning into Sex in South Beach, where everyone comes for happier, healthier sex. The funniest thing happened when I dropped my son off at school yesterday. One of the other moms came up to me to say she bought Sense Aromatherapy body oil, and she told me that she loves it. But when she wore it to pick her kid up from school, her kid's teacher asked her out. She said she was mortified. She loves his teacher, but does not want to go out on a date with him. Now she's scared to wear Sense around people unless she wants to date them. Smell good, feel good with Sense Aromatherapy body oil. Get yours on Amazon or at sensebodyoil.com. That's SENSE bodyoil.com.